Hey, what's up, guys? So we are finally there. We are back with the season finale of The Last of Us, or episode 9, whatever you prefer. Either way, we're going to kind of jump in. I mean, we've done a lot of these episodes. You kind of already know the gist. But let's just start with, how did you feel about the season finale? Did it do it for you?
I definitely felt emotions for Joel and Ellie and their connection.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I already knew what was going to happen, so I don't think it needed its own episode, to be honest. But
wow. To be fair, I did have this kind of spoiled for me before I went into the episode, so I know what happens after this episode, like going into the newer season. That probably is going to happen, I would assume, because this is hugely popular. But I didn't know, details for this episode too much, so I still was surprised, but I mean, it just makes sense. You kind of knew what happened was going to happen. It just, all the signs from every episode kind of pointed to this, so I enjoyed it. I think the last one definitely kind of gave you more emotional, damage, I guess. Gave you more not backstory, but more oomph to the episode. This one kind of just was a play by numbers, and the ending was the ending. So, it was fun. It was cool to see him turn into John Wick, kind of. So
yeah, I guess so.
So, with that being said, we both enjoyed it. We didn't think it was the best overall. There's definitely other episodes that are better. So, either way, now we'll put the little spoiler warning up here, and we will go a little bit more in depth with the actual breakdown of the show or the episode, and then we'll also kind of go over what was different in the game, but I'm assuming from what I heard, it's kind of almost shot for shot for the most part.
Yeah, they've only added things. So, like, the whole beginning sequence is not in the game. That's pretty much it, honestly. It's almost shot for shot the same as the game.
You were here first.
Minus all the infected, of course.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Is this The Last of Us, or
It literally just seems like
it's a father-daughter love story?
Yeah, it seems like after like maybe 2 episodes, everything else was like, oh, here's one infected.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there's another infected. I mean, they don't seem like they're a huge threat. But either way, we'll get into that too, because that kind of ties in with, the decisions made by Joel later in the episode. So we'll kind of dive into that, and then we'll, come back to, where are all the infected? Why are they not there? But we'll be right back. All right, we're back. See? I told you we would be. But we're going to start with the opening sequence, like he said, not a part of the game. But you get, was it Anna?
Yeah.
Her, Ellie's mom, which we don't find that out until a little bit later.
Pretty obvious, though.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
You know what's happening.
The cool thing I did like about this is that the lady, or the woman that plays Anna, is actually the girl who voices Ellie in the game. So I thought that was a cool kind of Easter egg. I know he mentioned the guy who voices Joel was actually in the game, or not in the game, the show, last episode.
James.
So I didn't know, even after I saw a photo of his face, still, I didn't ring a bell for me, honestly.
Yeah.
So, cool little Easter eggs here and there. So you get her running through, the forest, she gets up into the house, she's of course pregnant, water breaks.
And you can hear the infected in the background, right?
Single.
We find out that it's only one infected.
Which
sounds like there's more, but there was only one.
I mean, really though, if there was more, then she would have gotten torn alive. The baby would have got torn alive. Like,
I mean,
it would have been.
If they wanted to be more cinematic, they could have had more.
Yeah.
And the Fireflies came in and cleared them out.
Yeah.
And then one still gets to her. Like, they could have put way more action into the show.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, yeah. Especially the past, 3 or 4 episodes, it seems like, for the most part.
Yeah, it's like,
just kind of
affected. There's not even a problem.
Yeah, it seems like they just have it under control, and just the big cities are where they're at.
Yeah.
But either way, she gets infected. she ends up giving birth to Ellie. Of course, she, stabs the infected with the knife that Ellie has now, so that makes sense. Marlene finds her. They're best friends. She says, hey, take care of Ellie. Make sure she doesn't die. I'm infected, so I can't go anywhere. You gotta kill me. And then,
you learn how Ellie got immune.
Yeah.
In this episode, she got bit right when she was born.
Which I feel. Well, she didn't get bit. Her mom got bit.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like that happens a lot. I know. I noticed. I watched a kind of behind the scenes, and they mentioned Blade too, which that's what happens to Blade. So seems like that's what happens to everybody who's the magical cure is, they're a baby inside the womb and they get it, but they can control it. So yeah, all right, we'll go with that. But then that jumps straight to later in the story. We go back to Joel and Ellie, and they're kind of just talking, walking around.
Yeah, Ellie's kind of like shell shocked. You can't really tell if she's thinking about what happened in the prior episode, or if she's distracted because of what she knows is about to come.
Yeah,
like she doesn't know exactly what's gonna happen.
I think it's PTSD. Honestly, I think she's still.
I think it's like a mixture of both.
Yeah, like she's still stuck in that last episode, thinking like, what the hell just happened? Like I had to completely mutilate this guy, and that was her anger and frustration coming out, which you didn't really see a whole bunch in this show, really. So then after that, Joel's trying. I mean, you can see Joel realizes that she's feeling uneasy. She's kind of shut down and shut off from everybody. So he's trying to kind of get her out of it and talk to her about certain things. Hey, there's a ladder. Let me hoist you up. Get the ladder down. And this is one, I guess, key moment, even in the game too, I would assume, is they kind of get up there and Ellie, Ellie's not feeling great at all for the entire episode so far. But then she sees something. She's like, hey, let's go run over here. Let's go look. And she ends up getting to see giraffes, which, I mean, if my sister's watching, that's her favorite animal.
Yep.
She loves giraffes. So
that's true.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So I thought that was a cool kind of moment because that really seemed like that broke her out of like the funk she was in, really.
Yeah, it's a pretty iconic scene in the game. I feel like it has more impact in the game because you're fighting like hordes of infected.
Yeah.
And then you just like get a break and it's just peaceful giraffes and they're living their lives and but in the show it's like there was no infected, they're just walking, no infected, they're going to a building, no infected, they see giraffes, like, oh, cool, there's giraffes here. Like doesn't feel as interesting, I guess. It's cool to see, but
yeah, I really think the reason, at least in the show, is to kind of get her out of the funk and make her feel more like just as like a child and seeing wonders that maybe she's never seen before, kind of thing.
Well, I really like Joel, how he was looking at her, like he's just so happy that she's happy. Like,
yeah.
Like a father-daughter, like that, just him seeing that joy just like lit Joel up, and that was really good.
Yeah. And then obviously we get down from there and they're kind of walking and they find this big medical kind of tent facility area-ish, and this is where Joel really opens up to Ellie and tells him like, hey, that person that shot at me and gave me this scar was me, because he tried to commit suicide. And he tells her, I was ready to go, I was okay with it, but then I don't know what happened, but I flinched and I stayed here for, I think it was like 2 weeks or 2 months maybe. He was kind of in the medical tents because obviously he almost killed himself. So that was a big thing to open up to Ellie about, because obviously Joel is really just kept to himself basically for the entire show.
Yeah, pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can really see a change in Joel ever since the end of the last episode. And
Yeah,
so
that's true.
He's starting to open up to her. He's telling her things that he never wanted to tell her before. And, you'll see later on in the show, he like really opens up. And also during the giraffe scene, he's trying to tell her, we don't have to do this.
Yeah, we can go back to Tommy's.
We can go back to Tommy's and just live our lives. We don't have to mess with the fireflies. We don't have to worry about the cure.
Yeah, and Ellie's the one who kind of comes back with like, I'm doing this because I have a purpose. Like, I need to be doing this. I need to save somebody. And Joel seems like he's just been surviving, but Ellie's living for a purpose, for a reason. So maybe that gets taken away later in the episode. But either way, they get down. They start to kind of not really get down, but they start to keep walking through this facility. Get flashbang. Of course, it's the fireflies, but we don't know that at first. And then you just basically cut to Joel waking up after getting knocked out because he gets hit from a gun, right? He gets knocked unconscious.
Yeah, they butt him in the face.
Yeah, so they butt him in the face.
The butt of the gun.
I like it though. But so yeah, he wakes up and he sees Marlene. They have a kind of a quick one-on-one conversation with we were prepping Ellie for
surgery.
Yeah, for surgery, and we're gonna take the cortisones out, and obviously Joel instantly, cortisones are in her brain. You're gonna kill her, and it really goes to, do you want to save the world or do you want to save the one person that you have left in the world? Because really, I think without Ellie at this point in time, I think Joel has nothing and really probably wouldn't want to live.
Well, especially after regaining some of his humanity.
Yeah.
He's been so closed off ever since his daughter died. And now he's accepted Ellie as one of his own, which he doesn't do. Mm-hmm. And so, like, losing somebody that close to you again, like, he doesn't want to go through it again.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. But, so then, of course, she gives him, which I think this is kind of a nice gesture, but she gives him Ellie's knife and basically says, here, she'd probably want you to have it. And then he has his guards or her guards take Joel and says basically just take him out of city limits, give him his bag, go. Like, Shu, we'll handle this. Thanks for, doing what you're doing. Proud of you, but get out of here. And of course, Joel's like, nah, I don't think that's going to work for me.
Yep.
So, Joel goes on a little John Wick rampage.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
Takes out the entire Firefly crew.
Yeah.
Even the doctor.
Yeah. Which
without hesitation.
Yeah, literally just I'm not letting you have her, and just bam, shoots him, kills him dead.
Yeah.
So that was and I know in the game too, like, don't you literally just have to sit there and you can't move the character or anything until you shoot this guy?
Yeah, you have to play through the scene.
Yeah.
It's linear.
Yeah. So it's just, that's a key moment that, kind of, I guess from what I'm told, sets up everything else in the next series or season or whatever you want to call it. So I thought it was a cool kind of thing to throw in. I guess not really throw in there, but cool thing to show and kind of emphasize too. Luckily, he doesn't shoot the nurses, which I think would be definitely overkill.
Well, they cooperated.
Yeah, that is true.
So
yeah, the other guy like pulled a scalpel.
Yeah, that's why he didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. So then you get the whole scene with him carrying Ellie. Just kind of like it flashes back to him carrying Sarah in the beginning scene or beginning episode. And you get on the elevator, get down to the carport, and Marlene's sitting there, and basically again they have a one-on-one back and forth because Ellie's just she's all the gas or whatever they gave her knocked her out, and this is where Marlene basically says, is this what Ellie wants? Like,
like this is not for you to choose.
Yeah,
what happens. But Marlene didn't let her choose either, so it's kind of hypocritical. But
yeah, that's the thing is, Joel. I really think Marlene is afraid of what Ellie would say because she thinks she might say no, I don't want to do this. Let's find a different way. But then on the same end, I think Joel is afraid of what Ellie would say because Ellie might want to do this to save like the entire human race. So either way, one of them is not going to like the answer. So I think that's a cool kind of, back and forth between them. And then of course, Joel being Joel has a little handgun hidden and bam, shoots Marlene. And Marlene literally is still kind of pleading, like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to kill me. Like, we can still get through this. And then, of course, Joel just walks right up to her and shoots her in the head and walks away. So then we get to them driving in a car. Ellie's kind of slowly starting to wake up. And basically, he tells Ellie, hey, they already had, like, a bunch of people. Which, does make sense. But they already had a bunch of people and... they've already been testing, and they've kind of just given up on testing or trying to find a cure because they have so many people and they still can't find anything. And then, he tells her there were raiders that raided the Firefly area, and, he barely got her out alive, which, of course, is all a lie because he knows that telling Ellie the truth would, A, make it not her decision, and then B, she'd probably walk away from him.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, or just completely be pissed with him and never talk to him again. So of course he has to lie, which not a good thing to do, but in this situation that's what he thinks is best. So of course the car breaks down because The Last of Us, every car breaks down it seems like. Nobody's got a brand new 2023, Subaru.
That's right.
Yeah. Subarus are the best. Not sponsored. But I love them. Mm-hmm. But, so, they have to walk. They're kind of hiking through. I think this is when she brings up Riley as well. And, like, her struggle with having to kill Riley.
Yeah, right before they get to, like, over the hill and they're coming back down.
Yeah.
But you see Joel's attitude is completely changed. It's kind of like a psychopath, honestly. Like a flip. A switch is flipped.
He talks a lot about Sarah and like how they would be friends.
But he's just like so like there's so much pip in his step, and he's like so excited for the future and
because I'm sure at that point in time he's feeling a lot of guilt and just resentment, honestly, towards himself. Like he probably just feels terrible.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, I don't know. He might.
Think he does.
I don't know. But either way, yeah, he's talking about, her and Sarah would be best friends, and, they liked a lot of different things, and, they had certain things that they disliked or they liked, or, so he really opens up a lot more about Sarah to her in this episode. And then, of course, they get over the hill. And this is where Ellie, hey, swear to me what happened at the actual Firefly place actually happened. And of course he says, I swear. And boom, episode, season done. That's a wrap. Let's get to season 2. But before you subscribe, hit the bell notification, and leave a comment down in the section below how you thought about what the show did well, didn't do well, which episode you liked, which episode you didn't like, how do you feel about the season finale, are you excited about season 2? Let's get into the differences, which I know there's not many, but what, if any, differences are there with the game?
None.
Wow, alright, that was quick.
It's almost word for word.
That was quick. So?
Yeah, but, so what did you think about Joel's decision? Do you think he was right or wrong?
The only thing I was thinking about it was they have this, like, they're gonna test all of the stuff in her brain and stuff like that, but like you can't guarantee that's gonna happen, and you can't guarantee you're gonna pull a cure out of that.
Yeah, and we really haven't seen that the Fireflies have their shit together. Damn! Whatsoever.
No. Yeah, they're literally
this entire show.
Yeah, they're literally broken down and
they're barely getting by. So, but they're gonna somehow create a cure and mass produce it for everybody, and Fedra's gonna listen to them. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know if they're actually gonna have a cure. They can actually do anything. You don't even know if they have the equipment, honestly. Like, they can put her under and they have scalpels and stuff like that to take it out of her. But, you know, I don't know. How are you going to mass produce a cure that quick, or just if at all, honestly, in a world that's already been broken down for 20 plus years?
Yeah.
So
I'm Team Joel, because
I
would do the same thing for my daughter.
I mean, honestly,
he saw Ellie as his daughter in that moment.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, you just got to see him annihilating.
Yeah.
Fireflies.
Yeah, I mean,
I
would have rather seen him annihilate like a lot of infected. We got 0 scenes of that.
That is true.
0.
We had absolutely nothing. But I did like, when he first kills the 2 guards, and like all of the gunshots and sounds get really toned down and muffled, and really you're just kind of in a game mode, like right behind him kind of move, and then it's just the score.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's shell shocked, and he just made a decision.
Yeah,
and you're just watching it play out.
Yeah, like he's only got one thing on his mind. He's not thinking or listening about anything else. So if you get in his way, you're dead.
Yeah, like what he's not totally thinking about what he's doing. Right, he just has the end goal of Ellie out here.
So
yeah,
again,
what did you think of the season?
Oh my god! All these.
We gotta close it out. We gotta close it out.
All these questions. I enjoyed the season overall. I'm not like the biggest like, wow, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I enjoyed it, but it really was more character driven and story driven than like action. And
well, they basically took all the story points from the game and removed almost all of the action.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
I think the show would have been 100% better if there was fighting infected sprinkled all throughout the whole show.
Or just make the first game like 2 seasons, and actually
there's only 9 episodes, which is kind of HBO's thing. But
yeah, that is true.
You could have made a couple more episodes, spread things out. We got a lot of backstory, which was cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know, like I liked episode 3 a lot, but I feel like they should have done the DLC portion just like the DLC, and that episode would have been way better.
Yeah.
And same thing with all of the other episodes. Like, there should have been way more infected. And that's another point at the end. You kind of feel like, why are we doing all this for the cure? It doesn't even seem like the infected are a huge problem, to be honest.
It's true.
Like, you don't see any infected except for like really the beginning of the show.
Yeah, and in like big major cities. Even the big major city, you don't even see the infected.
I mean, they were in Salt Lake City at the end of the show, and there was no infected. Like, there was 0 infected.
Well, even when they were in Kansas City, you really, because they were in the underground.
Yeah, you didn't see anything until the end when the ground broke.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Yeah, you want to give it an out of 10?
Ooh. I mean, I would still give it a 7.
Oh, I was gonna say 6.
Yeah, I would say like 7, just because I feel like
it's definitely like an emotional roller coaster of a show. Like, it's a great show.
Yeah.
For that aspect, but it's definitely missing like key elements that made people love the game. In my point of view. Yeah.
In my point of view, I've never played the game.
You should play the game.
So that's probably why I rated it a little bit higher.
Yeah,
honestly.
Probably, yeah. I guess if you never played the game, then you would probably like the show a lot more.
Yeah. And to be fair, I probably didn't like the show a lot more than him. So, I don't know. I think it's like 7 out of 10. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the story. But again, I think it was lacking a lot of the action. Who knows? Maybe I feel like the budget was stupid high anyways, because it's HBO. So. Pedro Pascal's getting like at least $2 million an episode. Yeah. But I don't know. Either way, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to rewatch the entire series or season because.
Oh, another thing I guess is the whole Marlene and Ellie relationship. I was kind of curious about. I wanted to go back and watch the first episode.
Yeah.
Because if I remember right, it doesn't seem like Ellie really knows Marlene.
No.
In the first episode, right?
Because she says,
so
like,
it seems like,
why do you have me chained up and all that? And,
yeah, it seems like Marlene took her in and just, like, dumped her on a different family or somebody. Just dumped her on somebody else. And just kind of, like, stood back, made sure she lived. But that was about it. So that's why you can see it's definitely easier for Marlene to let Ellie die for this greater cause.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have the attachment that Joel does.
Yeah, she literally just dumped her and then picked her back up. And then gave her to Joel.
Seemed like it, yeah.
But, I don't know. I digress. Either way, like I said, you got any closing statements?
No. That's all I could think of.
That was already his closing statement.
It's all of them.
F. Marlene. Right?
Well, I mean...
Oh.
She was doing her best.
Yeah, I guess, maybe. Who knows? Either way, you already know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'll put all the things up here again, even though I'm going to put them on there right before I said it earlier. You know, gotta self-promote. It's crazy out here. Either way, we will see you guys not in another video. But who knows? Maybe we'll do like a halfway season wrap or halfway of the season of Mandalorian.
Yeah. I've only watched the first episode so far. I haven't had time.
What a scrub. Either way, we will see you guys later. Ready? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Last video and we got it. I just had to count it down for him.
Exactly.
Either way, we'll see you guys later. There we go. But we'll be right back. Okay.
Where are we going?
No fucking where.